Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw, we had a massive tournament over the weekend, over 9 hours of casting. You can still hear it in my voice a little bit. And from this tournament came two insane matches. I don't want to spoil them. All I will say is if you heard about the 3v match, that is the first match you're going to see. And then the next one is just really amazing as well. Take a look at these. They are some of the best Pokemon Unite matches I have ever been able to cast. I loved them. I hope you enjoy.
We're going to be watching some big plays from this Pokemon, especially considering it's uniting a ton. But let's see how they split up these three EVs right here, Jeff, because they could split up this central area and get all of them four very, very fast. And here we go. Look at these little
Speaking
cuties.
of all of, wait,
whoa.
what?
Whoa!
Oh my gosh, they've all tapped excuse me? All right, I know we had a request to follow the Azumarill, but we're gonna watch these EVs bully this Froakie.
Here we go. Three EVs against one Froakie. They're running into this central area right now. The Swifts are coming out. They're going to have to back up right here as they are trying to take this Bouffalon down very fast. This strategy is insane. I love it. They are taking it down. They're going to peel off to these Corphish. Here comes Snorlax trying to stop this party. Huge tackle and boosted right there as Snorlax is just taking an insane amount of damage. Only in a showdown tournament like this could you see a strategy like this come out. You love to see it, Jeff.
You know, and here I thought our viewers weren't going to get a special treat, but this 3 EVs 1 Froakie is normally premium only Phantoms content getting here for free on Spragels' YouTube channel.
That is beautiful right now. I do think there are going to be some problems because a lot of people are going to be sharing this video, reacting to it. It's a classic 3 EVs 1 Froakie situation. We all know the reference I'm making. They're up here in the top path. They're going to take down this Big B. We've got ourselves an Espeon now.
We see pushing into this point, this Azumarill getting these attack weight stacks here, getting these small energy deposits to give it extra attack as we head on into the mid game is another huge knockout here. And just look at the absolute chaos here as all of these EVs hit their first power spike. And speaking of power spikes, Venusaur's just like, guys,
hello?
I'm just gonna farm here at the bottom, I guess.
Are there Pokemon around? Anybody?
I'll put some energy in, I guess.
Does anyone care about the bottom path? Hello? Hello? This is, Jeff, that might have been maybe the most excited I've been at the first 2 minutes of a Pokemon match ever. I think they're in the central area again, by the way. I think they're fighting them again over here.
We see Snorlax looking to get in here, but these characters all power spike early. We see that Icy Wind jumping around from Azu as we see huge knockout from the Greedent here, getting them a little bit of catch-up experience.
This is just such an exciting fight. Obviously, the 3Vs being shut down right now. They were so incredibly cruel for so long. They had to do something about it. We've got ourselves a level 7 Wartortle, though, here. So they're looking pretty good when it comes to the center area experience, obviously. They were able to take that essentially uncontested and just hang out there and farm up and become powerful.
And looking at the way the levels lined up, it doesn't look like this 3 EV Invade really cost our purple team that much here. They are pretty similarly leveled to everything on the right side. In fact, they're over-leveled a bit here as Azumarill is coming down at level 8 2/3, and Wartortle is almost a Blastoise as well.
We gotta, say that this, oh wow, this Venusaur going down, this is so huge. That's giving us a Blastoise right here, so we have a massive Unite move that's gonna be able to push this enemy team away. This strategy is just so freaking exciting for fighting composition. Let's go! Massive triple KO. This Dreadnought's going down. Fighting composition, pulling out one of the coolest picks I've ever seen in a tournament, if not the coolest, and they are crushing with it right now.
You know, I have to ask Spragels, is bullying legal to show on YouTube? Because I'm pretty sure using a Unite move on a level 5 character qualifies.
I actually think I'm not even allowed to talk about my only Phantoms on YouTube either, so this stream is probably getting taken down.
All right, we have a huge push here on this second goal zone, extending their lead to 233-271 now as Azumarill is firing off that Unite move with a huge engage here inside of the speed zone.
Wow, what a big move here. Burn it down at level 11. And like we said, we're going to have this camera on this Azumarill a lot because that Unite move is going to come out in every single big fight. Greninja needs to be careful right here. You cannot fight an Azumarill one-on-one.
Yeah, Azumarill having one of the second fastest Unite recharges in the game, surpassed only by Delphox. Comes up almost once per minute if you are clearing lots of wild Pokemon, and Azumarill is excellent at clearing wild Pokemon with its Water Pulse and Whirlpool attacks.
You know, I gotta say, fighting composition right here, coming out with a pretty standard-ish strategy in game 1, but this game 2 is a tower rush, a Zerg rush, a cheese build. This is the thing that you don't expect. You can't believe it's working, and it is crushing here.
You know, we asked in the first game, was there a little bit of a hoopa diff between the teams, but fighting composition showing us that they are no slouches even without that. Oh, God. We're sieging another tier 2, Spragels.
You know, it's weird, Jeff, because I think not being able to really practice against a strategy like this, expect a strategy like this, this team is actually doing so well. But actually, wow, what an incredible push here. That was really great. Really, really nice job by Only Phantoms. I thought that was going in for sure.
Yeah, we see that kind of difference between these two teams there, getting that extra bit push from the second goal zone, allowing them to push that off. But look at how quickly this Glaceon shreds this objective.
Oh no! Leashed! It's leashed! Jeff and I at the same time with the same exact response. Oh no.
All right. Whew. Almost stolen by the Snorlax there, but those icicle spears, sorry, the icy wind shards is that attack that deal damage based on HP, are so good at securing last hits on objectives and knocking out thicker Pokemon like Snorlax.
Man, take a look at this Glaceon just doing some work right here. You know, as I was talking about in a video I have for this Pokemon, it really does some amazing stuff with Icy Wind. It's constantly mobile and it's dishing out huge chunks of damage all the time at extreme range.
Yeah, despite all of those knockouts that happened on the tier 2 goal zone for the orange team, they are still very behind in levels here, as we see 2 level 13s for our left side team. Something important to note about these evolutions, they hit their second attack upgrade at level 12. That means all 5 characters on the purple team are going to have their second attack upgrade as we head on into the Zapdos fight here in a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's one of the amazing things about all these EVs is early Unite moves, early move upgrades, evolving and becoming really powerful at level 4, but obviously they do fall off a little later in the match right here, but here we go, Azumarill coming in, big double KO, they want to push this in. I mean, they might get this next Rotama, and this is just crazy. 4 members down here for Only Phantoms, it is going in, that goal is going down.
This is an almost 300-point differential between these teams as we're closing on in to the 2-minute mark here. This is, again, this is not just a you flip the big yellow bird in the middle and you win the game if you secure it. The orange team needs to decisively win a team fight to win this game before securing that last objective.
This is just so tough for Only Phantoms right here. But as we were mentioning a little earlier, they have a better late game composition. The question is, can they even get enough experience to make it possible? I mean, this is a level 14 Azumarill, 13 Espeon. It's not looking too good for Only Phantoms, but that Venusaur is at level 13, and that's when it becomes a real menace.
Whoa, huge push here. Are we going to push into their second point here before Zapdos? Looks like we're kiting back a little bit. Some good knockouts there, but the levels are so low for the orange side. Their knockout timers are low with them.
This is a really surprise. I mean, look at this. They're just fighting them in their central area here, essentially. 1 member of fighting composition is over near the pit, but now 2 members down here, actually, for fighting composition here, and only 1 member down for Only Phantoms. They're able to take 3. This is just what we were talking about. They didn't have that late fight advantage. They were pushed out really, really deep right here as they're trying to fight back with these Unite moves. 2 going down, 3 going down. Now Blastoise cleaning this whole thing up, and it looks like we're going to have a bit of a refight.
Yeah, and this refight, again, heavily favors our purple side team. They are up a ton of points. They just need to buy time in this game. It is noteworthy that the Snorlax does still have a Unite move here, but that's the only Unite move left in the game at the moment. And these evolutions rip their Unites early. And other than the Sylveon, both Espeon and Glaceon recharge their Unite moves relatively quickly.
Ooh, this Greedent doing some work, taking this Espeon down. Huge timer right there. They're going to be gone for half of the rest of this match here, as Glaceon's coming in with a big Unite move of their own, looking to get some KOs out of it. Take a look at that. If they're able to catch Greninja Ninja or Greedent one more time. I think they can get the KO here. No, Greedent survives everything. It's still got a focus band right here. They're trying to take this out. They're way ahead on score right now, so our orange team needs to do something. Snorlax with the Unite, it's not enough. Full team getting wiped. Fighting composition with the 3v is taking game 2.
Yeah, really fantastic, fun game, top to bottom for the fighting competition. They came to brawl from the very beginning, and they brawled their hearts out with a dominating performance.
What a freaking game, Jeff. This has just been such a joy to watch teams play these incredibly interesting team comps. I didn't even think about the fact that someone was going to run a 3v in this tournament, but here we have it.
Yeah, I think just huge Unite moves, brawling all the way to the end, fighting composition, living up handily to their team name.
Yeah, that was so great. Such an incredible match here. Fighting composition looking fantastic. I can't wait to see them. I hope they make it further into the tournament because they're playing incredibly.
We see here ton of knockouts here for Burn It Down on that Azumarill. Really impressive stuff. How much damage did we deal? This team was pretty thick.
Woo! Oh, burn it down. Burn it all down. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
When you deal 142,000 damage and it's not even 30% of your team's damage.
Yeah. What, I mean, well, we said this at the beginning there. They had one of the bulkiest team compositions you could possibly have. Snorlax, Greedent, and a Blissey. I mean, they had a lot of big sacks of damage to sink into, but geez Louise, fighting comp, 142k, 3v. That Blastoise actually going crazy in that match. This is why we have a showdown, Jeff. Mid-video, yeehaw.
I am ready and good to go. We've got Hoopas on both teams in the second game. We've got Rin back on that Snorlax who was in the bottom path last time. Let's see these players go, go, go. The Dragonite is on the other foot with Sixties having access to that powerful securing Pokemon here as we see a 1-1-3 being executed for our top lane gamers here. The Slowbro looking to last hit some of these Pokemon in the bottom. And this is Arena, a melee character, attempting to stack in the bottom path.
All right, I got it all saved up here. Thank you so much, Jeff. Here, please continue.
See Gatlu in the top path trying to, and missing the last hit there, but getting in some of its attack weight stacks. Those of you that are new, these stacking items mean why we see these players scoring aggressively in the early game. Every time they deposit these Aeos energy bits, their characters get stronger and stronger for the rest of the match, up to 6 times. We see Snorlax doing a similar play in the bottom path here, stacking a cookie and glasses, I believe.
Ooh, that Scald, I swear, is just such a brutal, brutal move, especially against Pokemon like Zeraora and Zarina, who do not want their attack to be lowered. If you are unaware, Scald not only does a ton of damage, puts out a slow, but it lowers their attack by 40%. It is brief, but at the same time, it can really shut down something that's trying to maybe throw out a big stomp and get a KO.
We see Hoopa from Potato rotating into the top path here to match 3-3, so that way they are not outnumbered in the path where their damage carries are present. We see Gatlu getting yet another score in here for a stack and some experience that propels them into Greedent, as we see an invade starting here with the Demon Squirrel versus the Zeraora.
The Demon Squirrel indeed. Gatlu looking pretty with that bow on the tail right here. Whoa! They actually left. They let him take it. I think he's going to make it all the way home.
Yeah, that portal, taking the portal back there for both the players when the buff Pokemon was as low as it was quite the decision, as Gatlu secures yet another buff here. And can they get out? Covet's coming. We are resistant to hindrances.
Wow, what a play. I mean, Gatlu, I think Gatlu needs to figure something out and change their sleep schedule, because whatever they're on right now is insane. I can't believe some of the plays they are making right now.
I would again like to remind everyone watching at home that Gatlu outlasting those players was also done on ping.
Wow. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, Gatlu is playing the games of their life right now. I have to imagine that they're barely awake, partially asleep and at points entering a dream world where their body is almost taking over mechanically because they've done this so much.
They're just playing on pure adrenaline, Spragels. They're awake by that alone, and they're twitchy, and they're hitting all the buttons at exactly the right moments. Or perhaps the fact that they're playing on ping makes their sleep-addled state make everything line up perfectly.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As we actually take down this goal, look at this Serena. Boom, boom. 999 with a huge KO right there. This is being secured right now by Top Lane Gamers. They're playing some fantastic Pokemon Unite today.
Yeah, we see a little dance there from the potato. Like, we've got a charge coming up, and we know exactly what we're doing here. As Dragonite looks to launch in here with the Unite move and get blasted. All
right, here comes OG trying to push Sixies off right here, who may or may not have a third held item. I would love for someone to check Unite API to see if they actually were able to get a third item in here. But here come the stomps. Here comes the Greedent Unite. This is secured, and it's pushing towards this top goal.
We're going to see this walk on in here, allowing us to get a 40 from Gatlu and a 20 and a 24 for a nice 35 overcap here in the top path. Again, kind of waiting. Oh, are they just not breaking at all? I feel like they're waiting till the end, right?
I think so. They put a 1 in there, and now they're going to break it.
Well, the Snorlax is stacking too, right? So I think they're trying to just get an extra stack there and also delay these catch-up on Dinos spawning slightly in the top path.
That makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, the longer they take to spawn, the less experience they give him. Zarina coming in here with a big Unite. OG trying to pick something up here as both of them are kind of hyper overpowered from their Unite, and it does go down.
You see Snorlax being like, yeah, I'm here. I've got amnesia. You can't have the point. Good luck. Godspeed. And we see everybody on IX being like, yep, not pushing a Snorlax off that, or Slowbro off that point.
25 seconds here until Dreadnought is spawning, our second Dreadnought of the match, and Top Lane Gamers playing a phenomenal game of Pokemon Unite. Both teams, however, looking pretty solid for this next fight. Lots of Unite moves to go around, and both Hoopas ready to bring the teams to this fight.
This team often kind of sets the tone for the team fights. This is the first kind of almost late game team fight. Everybody's got Unite moves here. How do these team comps line up into each other as we battle here? And it looks like it's incredibly close, he says, as multiple members of Top Lane Gamers go down.
That's right. Top Lane Gamers not getting the best of this fight right here. It looks like they were the second one to use the Hoopa Unite, and because of that, they were able to get the stuns earlier, IX was, and that looked like to be the difference maker for them. However, the Dragonite comes in with a massive Hyper Beam. Are you kidding me?
Volbeat goes down there, I believe. Nope. Oh, there we go. Finally, can the Cramorant go down, or will it get Sixies first? The Sixies making it out on the Dragonite at level 12 there is huge. As you're getting a little Hyper Beam on the bees on the way out there.
Coming from the chat, Grand Theft Dreadnought. That is the case, I am strong. Absolutely. What a steal here. They were around long enough for Dragonite to get all the way down there and pick that up. This Rotom actually might be taken away from Zarina right here, however. Well, Hyper Beam coming in. Never mind.
Sixies is on point here. No ping, no problem. Let's go ahead and secure every objective last hit with this Dragonite here this evening.
My chat is saying I think actually they are not on ping. They are a purple team, correct? Do we have that right?
Yes, our purple team is playing on ping.
Oh, I thought they were not playing on ping because they're purple. I guess I don't really realize how the bar works.
So the sides of the map are based on who's the top or bottom of the lobby, and who gets on ping versus not is dictated by the total number of players in the lobby and some hidden calculation thing. But essentially, if my spectator client is green ping, it means our EU friends here are going to be on that ping.
Smart! I didn't understand it. Now I do.
We see a fight here for IX Gaming, pushing them up into the top point. Rin super low on the Snorlax, but staying in with the shield that their block gives them here. Will they finally go down? They grabbed a berry, which still heals a good bit at that point, thanks to Snorlax is passive.
Wow, I can't believe Snorlax makes it out of there. A real borderline moment there, and things have already been pretty borderline today, and now it is heading back to base. Final Dreadnought coming up. possibly the final Zapdos for IX Gaming. They have got to win this one or they are going home, and Top Lane Gamers will be heading to our grand finals.
This is the lower bracket. They lose, they are out. They don't want to be third place. They want first place. IX Gaming needs to win this match and the next one to move back to see Blackhand again in our winners finals.
Here we
winners
go.
Grand finals.
It looks like 5 seconds left until Zapdos. Both teams pretty ready for it. Blaine actually getting caught a little bit by 2 Pokemon right here, using a Unite move to hold Zarina. I'm wondering if they're buying enough time so that hopefully their team can rip, but no, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, wow, they're actually scoring right now. They're moving into their base to score. Currently, Dragonite scoring in the main. Gotlu scoring in the top path. They're not even looking at Zapdos right here as it does go down to IX, but points are already on the board. A ton of points here for Top Lane Gamers.
Yeah, we see 424 to 145. Rin is walking across here, 317, but they're still down by over 100 points. Are we gonna see, is this our first Zapdos and lose game of the day?
It might be our first Zapdos and lose game. We're gonna have to see. Right now, Potato heading home. They still can put more points on the board, but they're about to find out in 10 seconds that they are way ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the Zarina got a couple more points in the center here, and we're gonna have to see IX Gaming put something together here, or their tournament is over.
Wow, what an incredible play here from Top Lane Gamers. They recognized they were way up and they could just go score. IX couldn't do anything about it, and they couldn't take Zapdos fast enough or get enough points in after they did.
Yeah, and this is a point where they could even potentially give this outside point, depending on how the points go in, and still be ahead. We're up by over 160 points here on the left side for these players.
Wow, and here comes a massive fight. Snorlax pushing him off. Big Unite moves coming down. We have a Zeraora Unite putting some damage on the board, but it looks like Gotlu just spinning and winning here in this fight. Look at this Greedent trying to pick off Hoopa for the KO. 3 members down here. 4 IX, 4 down. That's going to be the game. Top Lane Gamers are heading to your grand finals. IX Gaming is heading home. There's the spin. Gotlu is ready for bed, but not until they win a grand finals.
Is Gotlu aware that they have to play best of 5 for the grand finals and might be awake for another hour?
Gotlu wants this, Jeff. You could see it in the way they're playing. Top Lane Gamers. Did we ever find out if Sixies had a third held item? I'm very curious what happened with that. I really want to know. If someone could check Unite API. Taking a look at the damage here. Just such an impressive round once again from Top Lane Gamers. IX, an incredible team. They fought their hearts out, but it really felt like Top Lane Gamers were in control of that whole thing.
Yeah, and just incredible damage numbers across the board for almost every player in this game. Even Pikadiff on Hoopa for our right side team, putting up 62,000 damage inside of that game.
Yeah, Gotlu needs some sleep, says Narrator 4 in the chat. I understand it. They need sleep, but they can't stop winning. They will keep themselves awake because they simply cannot lose. And now they are heading into a grand finals. This is going to be really exciting here.